What's up, guys? All right, today got a little something different for you. The fishing just has not been on. I've been out 3 or 4 times and I haven't caught anything. I've been struggling. I have plenty of video clips. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see my video clips. It's really just me going out and trying to catch some fish. I've caught 1 or 2. We had a hurricane come through and it's just not been good. Today though, I'm gonna paint some fishing poles. Now there's a lot of controversy over this, whether you should paint them or not. But I found a guy on YouTube. Name is Chunky Cat Fishing. Check his YouTube out. I'll link it below. I reached out to him and he really helped me on this. I think we can get these poles painted the way I want it. Now my goal is to paint them fluorescent so I can put a black light on them, obviously. We can see when the fish bite at night. I thought I was gonna have to go out and buy $100, $200 rods, but I found that there is an easier way. We're gonna try it. What I have here is a Walmart Shakespeare Tiger pole and a Berkley Fusion pole. They're both a medium heavy. Funny thing about this Berkley Fusion pole here, we actually got this pole magnet fishing. We were out at one of the local boat landings and throwing the magnets, which I might actually bring to the channel. Magnet fishing's kind of fun. I just hate it when my magnet gets stuck. But we actually got this fishing pole magnet fishing, and it's actually been one of my better poles. It's a little ate up, and it's why I chose to paint this one. All right, let's go over what we're gonna use to paint it. First thing, we're gonna have to sand the poles. So I have a sanding block. This is a medium 80 grit. It says smooth surfaces. This is just gonna rough up the pole so the paint will stick. We've got 1-2-3 primer. This is the primer we're gonna use. So we're gonna sand it, prime it. Then I've got my fluorescent paint. I went with Rust-Oleum. This is the Home Depot brand. Everyone says that Lowe's, Home Depot, they all have different brands, but I'm going with this brand. We're gonna see how this one does. So I've got my green, my yellow, my pink, and my orange. And then at the end, we're gonna clear coat it. Now this is an interior semi-gloss polyurethane. This is the only oil base that I'm using. Now you can go oil base. I've heard it works just fine. We're trying not to flake at the end. This is what I was told to use. We're gonna see how it works. Hopefully these things last up. And then obviously some painter's tape. All right, so we're gonna move to the fishing poles. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get these sanded. Now when you're doing this sanding, it's a light sanding. All you're doing is roughing the surface up. You don't want to get in here and dig real hard, which is why I'm using an 80 grit and not something stronger. If you dig real hard, you're gonna create divots and you're gonna be able to see it once you're painted. So a light sanding, you don't want to do nothing crazy. All you're doing is kind of roughing up that surface so the paint will stick to it. All right, guys, I did end up having to get, well, this is probably too strong. Here's an 80 grit. I did end up having to get a hand piece of paper or sandpaper just because of the eyes. That block that I have isn't gonna be able to get into the little crevices. You wanna make sure you get everything sanded. All right, guys, now I got everything sanded. Got it all sanded down, pretty much back to bare. There's a couple places that I might need to touch up. Another thing that I forgot, obviously, we need some sort of alcohol, something to wipe and get all the grease and all the fingerprints off, right? So I'm gonna use brake cleaner. It's what I had laying around. Like, it didn't have any alcohol or or paint thinner or anything like that, but brake cleaner will do the job. So we're gonna use that, and then once that dries, we're gonna tape off our poles. All right, guys, now we got everything sanded. We're gonna tape. So we need to tape the part that goes, because these are 2-piece rods. We obviously don't wanna paint the part that goes into the other rod. So we're gonna tape this part. And then I'm not going to paint anything with the handles, so we're gonna completely tape the handles, right? Everything else is gonna get primered. So let's get those taped. Just like that. Lines as straight. I mean, guys, I'm fishing with it, so the lines don't have to be unbelievably straight, but somewhat straight definitely helps. As you're priming these, obviously you just with any spray paint, you want it quick, short burst. You don't want to do anything thick, because if you do, it'll end up running, and obviously runs are not our friend. All right, number one mistake that I made, sprayed too close with the primer. I got little pieces, had to sand it down a little bit. Make sure 10 to 12 inches away from what you're spraying. Obviously don't get closer. That was definitely a mistake I made. Had to completely sand it down. All right, we got one of the poles, we're ready. We're gonna start painting it. First color is gonna be pink. Let's do it. Make sure you shake the paint. That's another thing I was messing up on. Gotta shake the paint. If you can't hear the ball rattling, it's not right. Obviously that's why I call it a rattle can. Guys, I don't know much about spray painting if you couldn't tell. All right, and we're back. Let's get this orange one painted. Guys, the pink one is looking pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that pink one. What's up, guys? Day number 2. I think the poles have dried good enough. We're gonna go ahead and tape where we want to paint the second colors before we put a clear coat on it. These poles turned out really nice. So far, so good. The big question is gonna be the durability test, but I'm really liking it. I think this pink one turned out really nice. I'm super excited about the pink color. All right, let's get them taped up so we can paint the second color. All right, so we got them all taped up. Now, hopefully my lines are straight. They look pretty straight, but never really been good at that. Let's get that first coat of paint on these spots that I want painted. Up a little bit for sure. I was not liking the way that yellow was turning out. So we're gonna do orange and green. We'll just have to do yellow for it and pole by itself. Guys, look at these beauties. I am very happy with the way these turned out. I'm really hoping that they hold up. If they do, I'll probably never buy a fancy fishing pole again. We'll just upfit good old yard sale fishing poles. All right, the last step of this whole process, we're gonna get the polyurethane coating on. Glad y'all are still with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. All right, guys, time for the final coat, which is the interior polyurethane. I reached out to a Chunky Cats Fishing. He did a couple video of these. He recommended this one. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Make sure you check out his YouTube. He's got some good stuff on there. All right, guys, finished product. I'm very happy with it. There are a couple imperfections. Definitely slow down, take your time. That is where I messed up. I never claimed to be a very patient person. However, I think the green and the orange and the pink and the green definitely looks good. Sorry if I'm sniffing. It's a little chilly out here today, causing the paint to dry a little slower. But we are about to do our big reveal, see what it looks like under blacklight. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Like I said, these poles turned out really well. Can't wait to use them in the field. Couple things, make sure you're liking and subscribing to my channel. Subscriptions really help. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We're trying to get a big thing this year. I don't know that we're going to reach it, but I'd like to try to get 500 subscribers by the end of the year. That's 3 months. I need everyone to share this video as much as possible. It would mean the world to me. Make sure you share it. Check me out. We're gonna use these poles in the field. Get some tests done with them. Let's see if they hold up. On that note, Crescent Moon Adventures out.